We look cute. Yes, we do. I look cute. How about you? You will. You got this. Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, like I said in my last tutorial for Valentine's Day, I did say I was going to start a basic series. So today we're going to be doing just a simple base makeup. Now with this series, I would just like to give a disclaimer that it's only going to be videos on how I do my makeup, not everybody else. Okay, everybody does their makeup a certain way, but this is just how I achieve my looks. So yeah, this tutorial is going to be, all of them are just going to be how I learned along the way, how I like to do my makeup. So yeah, this first one will just be on foundation, concealer, color correcting, contouring, all of that. So just stay tuned. We're gonna learn some things today. Okay, so to start off my base makeup, and this is before I even did my eyebrows, I put on some Nivea Men Soothing Post Shave Balm. I put that on all over my face, just a normal, like you're gonna put this on kind of like a moisturizer. So I do put this on pretty heavily because I do have dry skin, so this is pretty good, and this is for sensitive skin as well. I've been using this for a few years and it keeps me pretty hydrated in the wintertime included. So after that, after I put on the Nivea product, I put on the Too Faced Hangover RX primer. I put this on all over my face as well, kind of like a moisturizer. Again, this is a really good primer. It has coconut water, sorry. It's coconut water in it, and it's a really hydrating primer. I'm extra when I put this on because, like I said, I have dry skin, I have eczema, and I get dry patches in the winter time, so I go heavy-handed with this. And after that, today, mind you, my primers changed, so I'm going to show clips of like different primers I have, and that's not even all the primers I do have, but these are primers that I like to use or things that I use as primer. After I put on that Too Faced primer, I went in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Minimize Pores primer as well, and I just put this in my T-zone. So I put it under my eyes, on my nose, on my forehead, all those places where my pores are a little bit bigger. And what you'll see me do in the clip is that I'm going to be putting it on just like swiping motion first to apply it, and then I'm going to start pressing it into my skin. This kind of primer is like, it's different texture to it. It's not like normal primer, so you're not gonna want to rub this all over your face like a moisturizer. You're gonna want to press it in, or it's gonna start to roll into like little white balls on your face. You don't want that. You want it to actually work. It's gonna roll off your face if you don't put this on correctly. So rub it to get it in your skin correctly, and then press it in. Then after that, because this is a tad bit drying, I went in with this e.l.f. hydrating coconut mist, and I sprayed this all over my face to give my face, revamp it after that primer, because that is a little bit drying. This has hyaluronic acid in it and vitamin E. Hyaluronic acid is really good for keeping your skin hydrated. A lot of skincare has hyaluronic acid in it, so yeah, this is good. You can use this on your makeup, or you can use this on your bare skin. It doesn't matter. So after my skin is prepped, it's time to go into prepping it for the foundation, concealer, and contour. So what I like to do is to color correct. When you have like dark spots like this, and I have discoloration all over my face from my eczema and dry patches and stuff like all through here, you're gonna want to use a more reddish, orangish color to put on those areas so it won't like read through your makeup. But once the makeup settles into your face, it's gonna be more seen, like all these dark spots. You're gonna want to color correct, you know, so you don't have to use as much foundation or product to try to cover up all of this. So what you've been seeing me use in these tutorials so far is the Anastasia Cream Contour Kit. Because I love to use this color in here, Warm Coral. It's like a peachy, orangish color. It helps me color correct on my areas. So like color correcting is a lifesaver, like if you have rosacea or you just have like red redness in your face, you're going to use a green color. Since I have dark spots, they read like purple and blue undertones. To cancel that out, you're going to use something of a red orange background. So I like to apply this, as y'all have seen, all over my face, like where I have discoloration that's not the same color as my normal skin color. I use a Real Techniques brush, but it's like a fluffy, it's a small brush, but it's like nice and fluffy and dense. And I use this to just apply all of this peachy orange shade all over my face. But I do like to mix it with this because this can read a little too orange sometimes. It covers it right up, but you don't have to do this step. Like I said, all these steps are for people that want to know how I do my face. I don't want to hear about I'm doing this wrong. This is how I like to do my makeup, okay? You don't have to use this product. You can get the brand LA Girl Pro Concealer, that Pro HD concealer. They have an orangey type corrector shade. They have green, they have purple, all of those are corrector shades. So you can get them at like the beauty supply store. You can get them at Ulta. You can get them anywhere really. But that's usually how much you can find it, like $3 to $5 for that concealer. I like to use this e.l.f. buffing foundation brush, or this is basically like the same kind of brush, they just called it a different thing, or this ultimate blending brush. Yes, these two brushes are really cheap brushes that blend your makeup out like it's a high-end brush. So these brushes are only $6 each, which is really good because you can use this for blending out your contour. You can use this for blending out your foundation. It's a multi-purpose brush, so I really like it. It's dense. I think these are synthetic fibers. If you're looking for a brush, you want them to be synthetic fiber so you know it can blend your makeup out properly. If you use like real hair brushes, they'll usually take your makeup off instead of blending it out. I know Jackie Aina likes to use the NYX brush, the face brush or foundation brush, whatever it's called. It's like $15. You want to use something like this to like buff this cream out, because you can't use a sponge to like blend this out. You'll be sitting here forever doing that. If it's like a different kind of concealer that's actually like more liquidy, then you can use a sponge. But since this is more a thick cream, then you're gonna want to use a dense brush for that. So when you're putting this on, it looks like I'm basically like beating my face, but you're just like kind of doing like a push and swipe type motion. You're pressing it down, like stippling it like this, but you're kind of still going like at the side as well. So yeah, do both of those at the same time. When you're done, you're gonna want to set the your color corrector, because you don't want it to transfer and mix into your foundation. This is just to give your face an even playing field, even canvas. You know, don't get talked about out here. Don't say I didn't warn you. If you do, go ahead and forget. Okay, I'm using the Black Radiance Loose Setting Powder in the shade Honeymoon. And you're gonna want to go in with a damp beauty sponge. So the sponges that I like at the moment, because beauty blenders, they're kind of overrated to me. I like to use the Real Techniques sponge. These are like $6 and some change at Walmart and anywhere else. But you can also go to Colored Rain's website, and they have really nice sponges as well. They're like $6 as well. They're just, you know, you can get, this one is like a part of the Christmas edition. So this came with a marbled green one and a marbled red one, and they come with like little soap. This one I do like a lot though. If you want like to do your foundation with this, it's more full coverage. This is not going to pick up your makeup at all. Like if you want a full coverage face with us just using a sponge, this Color Rain one is for you. This one is gonna work too, but it's a little bit more sheer. So I use this more for like powder, not really like foundation, unless I'm doing makeup on a person who has like pretty even skin and they don't need that much coverage. Yeah, I dip this in and then I blow off the excess, or I'll dab my hand into it so it's like an even application of powder. And I'm just gonna set this. I like to use this powder because it's more red undertones in it, so it's gonna continue to correct my face. Don't make this hard on yourself. Just put it on. Makeup isn't hard. No one knows your face better than you do, so just put it on. And if you want to, you can spray your face again. I might just do a really light mist because I don't want my face to be overly dewy. But spraying your face is like really key, y'all. Not just at the end of doing your makeup, but all throughout, just to make it last longer and to get it to look more skin-like. You don't want to look powdery. You shouldn't look powdery at the end of your makeup. You want to look lived in. This is when I start to go into the process that might be a little confusing to some people. When I start with this process, I'm going to start with my contour first, which I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution foundation stick in the shade F18. And this is, you know, I just like this shade. You see how this looks like a 3? Look at that. So this is putting the dimension back into your face, or creating dimension that you might not have, you know, giving you a jawline that's not all my double chins, you know, or triple, whatever you want to call it. Place it under my jawline. I placed it right in the hollows of my cheeks. And if you don't know where to mark it, suck your face in. Put it right there. If you want your face to look more lifted, then you're gonna do a more curved type of shape. If you want your cheekbones to look higher, so you're gonna curve your face a little bit more in your cheekbones. And then if you have a big forehead, I don't have a big forehead. I don't think I do, at least. Maybe I do. I got a big head, but I don't think I have a big forehead. Put, you know, a couple tick marks here. See? Boom. Boom. Then right there. Then I'm going to go in with Juvia's Place Stick Foundation in the shade Benin. This is just only a couple shades darker than me. This is basically like my summer shade. Make sure y'all do go look on Juvia's Place website. They do have a lot of sales. So it's an online store if you don't know. JuviasPlace.com. They have really good products. I have a ton of their eyeshadow products, lip products. I just love their stuff, and it's Black owned. Oh yeah, basically I'm going back in with that. I'm not back in. I'm going to go back over that contour area with this. This is more like a bronze color for me. So contours, it's more cool tone. It's way darker than your skin complexion. It's making shadows. With bronzing, you're warming your face up. So together, you know, it looks good together. After that, I go in and I apply my foundation in the places I want them to go. Oh, before I explain this, I put this here, this lighter color here, because it's, like I said, it's not that much darker than me. So I use this, or I'll use my foundation that I'm using. If this is too intense for you and you don't know what you're doing to blend it out, when you put your foundation on, you're going to apply that here as well. And I'm going to explain why it's going to give you the sculpted nose. I'm going to take some foundation. I like to take it on a brush. If you don't have like a spout, like a little pump on your foundation, I do have a little dish that I showed in my other video that you can get, like I said, from TJ Maxx, or you can order it on Amazon. And yeah, this is a good thing to have to, like, you know, so you're not getting makeup all over your hands. You're gonna apply it right here, right under the contour. I'm gonna apply the foundation on my mouth. So, yeah, right there. And this isn't like whole pumps of foundation, like I'm putting like little droplets at a time, because I don't need that for much foundation when I do this my application this way. And I'm gonna put it on the sides of my nose. Okay, after that, you're gonna go in with your concealer with the areas that you need to highlight. Now, concealer is different for everybody, like what shade you want to pick. So with concealer, I usually like to highlight more than just have it as the same color as me. Some people like to conceal and have it just, you know, just the same color as their face. I like to lighten my under eye, and, like, you know, wherever light hits you is where you're gonna want to conceal. Okay? By the way, this is Juvia's Place concealer that I've used in all my tutorials. And this is in the shade J12, and it's a nice yellow undertoned concealer. And when I'm wearing no eyeshadow, I like to put some concealer under my eye. I mean, under eye, on top of my eye as well. I like to look more like, you know, lifted on my under eye, so I do like a triangle under my eye. This to be highlighted under your cheekbones, you can put you a couple dots under there too. If I really want my under eyes to be brightened, I'll use even lighter concealer, and this is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and this is in the shade medium beige. Yeah, you want to keep it concentrated right here, right near your nose. Don't put it all over here, because it's going to get really out of control. Now unless that's just what you want to do, like I said, you put you a couple dots on your forehead, a couple dots on your chin, and boom, boom. Nobody saw anything. Okay? After I have laid everything down that I want to be there, I spray my face. And I'll spray my face either. I could spray it with this, or I could get some MAC Fix Plus, spray it with this, which is like another, you know, hydrating type of spray. A lot of people use it. I have my Becca Skin Love, which is a really glowy, dewy type of spray. It's really gonna move your makeup around. If you have dry skin, you might like that spray. I could use rose water, or this is another facial mist that I got from TJ Maxx because I ran out of rose water. You could use this setting spray. You could use your setting spray. You want to just, you know, spray your face so everything can just move as you blend your face out. Today, I'm probably just going to use the e.l.f. spray that I used earlier. You want to give it a healthy spray. Let it dry down just a tad. And then you're going to go back in with that e.l.f. buffing brush that we had used earlier. What I like to do first is blend out my contours. Okay, so we have a special guest one more time for the one time, yes. We're gonna blend out the contour and the exact same patting motion.
Oh my God!
Motion that
what is that?
This right here, I kind of do more of a swiping motion, more than just the dabbing motion. I want my cheeks to be a little bit more elevated. So I'm gonna be blending it more upward You want all this to be more upward. You don't want everything, your face to look saggy. You're gonna blend it more up. And a good place, by the way, if you're a beginner, a good place to get like foundation is from Walmart or wherever they sell Maybelline stuff. The Fit Me line is really good. They have a lot of colors and it's cheap. It's like $5-6 at Walmart. It's really good. Their concealer is good too. Their powder is good. So if you want to learn how to do this kind of stuff and you're on a budget, I suggest Maybelline. They have good products. Just gonna pinch the brush like this to blend out my nose. Then I'm gonna blend out my foundation with another brush. Don't use the same brush. Have two separate brushes, two separate ones. Remember which one is which, that you blended out what color for, so your face doesn't look muddy. You know, you want to be able to still see distinction between your contour and foundation. You know, you still want to have that dimension in your face. So you're gonna definitely want to use two different brushes. Like I said, they're cheap. They're only $6. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this I need to wash my brushes so badly. This Real Techniques brush, it's in this number 300 and it's a really good fluffy brush. It's dense but it's pointed, so this is going to be good for your under eye but blending it out. Or you could use a sponge if you want to under your eyes. I go back and forth. For like the past year, I've been really liking to use this brush. Ever since I found it, I haven't stopped using it. I like to start with my chin first, and I do kind of like, you know, that like press it in but like drag down at the same time. And then I'm gonna go back with that foundation brush to blend the edges out. This is when the angles of the brush, use them. Like you see how it's like an edge right there? Turn your brush around your eyebrows. Pat them. Blend it out that way. So you're not disturbing your eyebrows. Don't mess your eyebrows up, sis, because some people take a long time. You don't want to mess your eyebrows up. They frame your face. That blend, baby. Look at that blend, baby. So now I'm gonna go in and I'm going to only use the tip of this brush, like right there, to blend out my nose, because I don't want this concealer to get everywhere. I want it to still be concentrated and give me a snatched nose. So I'm just gonna go in that kind of motion. Blend out my nose highlight. Like I said earlier, you want to, if you don't want to use that contour or bronzing type of color, you can just use your foundation and you can reverse contour. Since the concealer is lighter than your foundation, you could just use your concealer and go all the way right here and cut your nose right there and make sure you conceal in the middle of your nose, and it's gonna look like you contoured your nose. Look at that. I'm just dragging that bronzer color more towards my eyebrow, so it looks like this is my natural snatch nose. Okay, so now under eye, I do under eye last all the time. If you watch Jackie Aina, then you already know this. The longer you let your concealer sit, the more pigmented and opaque it's gonna be. So I'll use my brush usually to get the color going, and then if it's too concentrated, then I'll use a sponge to blend it out and make it look more flawless. technique with your eyeshadow, like I said before. When you apply a color, go back and blend out the edges of the previous colors you've used. So now we're going to set what we have laid down. Okay, so anytime you lay down any liquid or cream or whatever, you're going to want to set it with some powder. I'm going to use the Maybelline Shine Free powder that I've used so many times. We're going to use this since it's such a neutral color. I'm going to do a light set all over my face. When I set my face, I powder my brows. You're gonna look scary, but you're gonna look good. I'm going to go in with 2 powders to bake with. The Juvia's Place powder that I used in a couple tutorials already. In the shade Kalahari. Since I have yellow undertones in my skin, I like to use a yellow powder to bake with. So I use this powder to bake under my eyes, everywhere where I highlight it basically. I like to take some of the powder again and just lay it down. I just kind of squeeze the sponge like this to get it over my nose. If you want your nose to be more cut again to help that reverse contouring, if you don't use that bronzer, you can pinch the sponge, use the tip of the sponge, and have your bake like that. Okay? Pinch the sponge and have your baking look like that around your nose. And now I'm going to use that Anastasia powder I've been talking about in my tutorials in the shade Deep Peach. And I use this color for under my jawline, because I feel like the Juvia's Place powder just clings a little too much for me to put it under my cheekbone, and this is the area that can look really scary with contouring. Dab it in, press it on my hand, then just drag it across my face. Like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Some people take this part very seriously. I don't. If you want to bake with that yellow powder on your lids too, you can do that. Especially if you use more hydrating concealers, you want to set them really good or they're going to crease. So I like to bake, even though I have dry skin, I like to have a really nice matte finish on my face. I don't like to look dusty, but I want it to be set and matte because it lasts longer. Oh, and I forgot to say, if you like cream blush or cream highlighter, you are going to want to put those on before you put your powder on. So I have like jelly highlighter from Too Faced, or there's like cream blushes from everybody, or liquid blushes. You want to put those on before you set them, because you can't put this on over powder. You can't do that. You can't do that. So yeah, keep that in mind. If you own any of these and you don't know what to do with them, you're gonna want to apply these on your face. Like highlighter, you can put it on under your foundation before you put it on, or you can put it on top or whatever before you set your face. That's up to you, but you're definitely going to want to put these on before you put on your powder, because it's not gonna look right. It's gonna look blotchy and patchy, and that's not the move at all. So don't do that. Okay. Okay, so now I'm back.
I am disgusted. You better talk to her before I do, because I'm hurt her feelings. That's up.
I hate it here. That's all, Your Honor. Ain't no other form of disrespect. Throw the whole washing machine away at this point. Okay, so I'm back for real this time. It's time to knock the powder off. This has been on my face way longer than it was supposed to be. Y'all, I live in Michigan. If you are not somebody that I know personally, yeah, I live in Michigan. It's cold. I'm not really supposed to be baking for this long because my skin is already dry. So yeah, y'all can thank the washing machine for that. But I'm gonna like lightly around my eyebrows, like just graze over them with this brush that I use for foundation to knock the powder off. And I'm gonna brush up for all of this part. Brush up. Don't be wiping, and brush lightly up. Brush up. And then for this part with my nose, I go downwards. And I put just a little bit more pressure here because I don't want that powder to stay at all. Like, I need it to come off. Sometimes the lines of demarcation can be real with the powder. You're gonna have to use that pinching motion again and blend out the edges of where that powder was baking. And around my eyes, I do kind of the dust pat that I've talked about before. See, little line of demarcation got me messed up. I knocked the excess off, but I will press that powder in to make sure it's really set. I get a lot of creasing under my eye. I have lines under my eye. And if you do look like Casper the Ghost from your powder, that's what sprays are for. Mist, facial mist, and things like that. That's when your more hydrating sprays are gonna come into play. It's not gonna set your makeup. It's gonna break down that powder though. So it's not as casket sharp, okay? You don't wanna look like that. You want your makeup set, but you don't wanna look scary, okay? Flashback is real, y'all. It looks, it's not loyal. It's disrespectful. Okay, so I'm back now. I have done my eyeliner and my lashes. Time to go in with contour and bronzing powders that we're going to use today. The powders that I'm going to use, like I said in so many tutorials that I've just discovered, is the Beauty Bakery Coffee and Cocoa palette. And it has really pretty colors in here. I like to use Anti-Depresso, and I use Deja Brew too, but that's kind of like my skin color, but I like to mix the two of them. And then I use just a little bit of La Vida Mocha. I like to take like a fluffy angled brush for this step, and I got this brush in a set from TJ Maxx. It's from the brand Bella Pro. And you're just gonna put it where you contoured and bronzed earlier with the creams. I like to do like more circular motions with this part. I don't like to use like tighter, denser brushes with this step because I feel like it's gonna be too concentrated. I want it to look airbrushed and like my skin, even though obviously y'all know it's not. This does have shimmer in it, so if you don't like shimmer, then this might not be the product for you. I would like to mention, I did use the Black Radiance contour palette a lot. They have the light to medium one, and then they have the medium to dark one as well. I think that's what that one's called. I've used the crap out of this palette. Look at all that residue, oh my gosh. But this is a good palette to have because it has the contour, the bronze, and then the highlight. And if you don't know what you're doing, they give you a guide as to where to put everything. This is at Walmart. This is like $6 for this, $7, and it's a good palette to have. And when I do pick up my colors, I like to tap my brush to get the excess off of it so it's not too loaded up and I'm not out here looking crazy. Yeah, I do that with my eyeshadows too. If you notice in some of my tutorials, I do tap my brush on something before I apply it, just to so it's not so prominent in that one spot that I started adding product in, you know, because it can happen. Powders, they do that sometimes. You don't have to do this, but I do like to use this Brownie Bar palette now that I have it. This is good for travel since it's so small. So I like to take those two colors, which is like a bronzer and a contour, and go around those same areas. I'm going to do my nose. Found this brush at TJ Maxx from Kala that's double-sided, and it has, like, you can use this for foundation, but I like to use it for my nose. It's just fluffy enough but still skinny enough where I can get that nose bronzer right. I really like this bronzer. I use this a lot, but I like to use this Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in the shade Mahogany. I take a little bit of this, tap that off, okay, because you don't want to look crazy with your nose. I don't like to go crazy with nose contour. And you're gonna kind of do little circular motions on your nose as well. And like I've said in my first tutorial, you're gonna want to do this trick of putting stamp your bronzer into the head of your eyebrows, and then brush it under the head of the eyebrow as well. So you see like how it looks like this is how my nose is. You know, usually people can get their tails fine, but it'd be the head of their brows that look really blocky and dark. So if you haven't had that, like, gotten that mastered yet, this little details, the little details that make a difference in your face. You see how you just play and manipulate everybody? Makeup is fun. I don't look completely different when I put makeup on, but there's a difference, okay? There's a huge difference. For blush, I'm gonna go in with the same palette I've been showing y'all in my tutorials. This Sahara Blush Volume 1 from Juvia's Place. I'm gonna go in with Neo. You wanna go lightly, like I picked up too much right now. I don't know what I was thinking. Lightly with these blushes. These blushes are so pigmented. You want to go light-handed with this blush. And the deal with blushes is that I don't just put them on my cheeks right above my bronzer. I put some on my forehead, my nose a little bit, just a little bit, lightly. But you're gonna apply your blush the same way you did with the bronzer. And then after that, we're gonna do my favorite part. One of my favorite parts of doing my makeup, which is highlighting. I like to glow, okay? I don't look like a disco ball, but I'm close to it, okay? I want them to be like, is that a unicorn? Like, yes, it is I, okay? It's me, glowing from within. This Zara shade and Liwa shade, I mixed them together. You gonna be shining, yeah. I take this big fluffy fan brush and I like to just swipe very lightly. My hand is barely touching my face. The brush is barely touching my face. Just graze your cheeks. You don't want it to have a big strobe of glitter on your cheek. This is what makes you really look lived in with your makeup. It's highlighter. This is what makes you just look like from afar. Like, this is what really gets people going, okay? Makes your makeup look poppy. And you really be noticing highlighter on our melanated sisters out here, okay? You look good with highlighter. I promise you, ladies, get you some highlighter. Oh, and I forgot, honorable mentions. I've used these. Oh, I got glue on here, but the Black Radiance press powders, these are like $4.96 at Walmart. I have used and abused both of these colors. You can get those as well if you don't have any money that you want to give to these more higher end places, or if you don't want to pay shipping for these online stores. Black Radiance has good pressed powders if you need to bronze your face or contour. And e.l.f. has good blushes too. Blush palettes, they have them from light to dark, so you have colors to pick from. A whole palette full of different blush colors, from like pinky to peachy colors. Another place I like to highlight at is a little on my forehead. Some people like to highlight right here where their eyebrows are, but I don't like to. It doesn't look right on me. I like to put a little right in the center of my forehead, a little on my chin, and then I'm gonna take some on my finger, apply it with my middle finger. I swipe it up and down lightly with my middle finger so I'm not wiping off my foundation and concealer. And then I use my ring finger to blend it out. So I just go around the edges and press that in, just so it's, you know, it's there, but it's not crazy. And if you want to get real over the top, I've shown this in my other tutorial. You're going to take a little fluffy angled brush, it's an eyeshadow brush, and take you some more highlighter and put that right under your eyebrow where your brow bone is. I promise you, y'all listen, by the time summertime come around, y'all gonna be glowing. Y'all gonna be getting chose out here. I promise you. I ain't got chose yet, but maybe you will. Maybe, sis. You know, I have faith in you, or you gonna be the one choosing. Okay. And then take another brush. This is from BH Cosmetics as well. This little small tight dense brush. Take some highlighter, put that in your inner tear duct. That's it. So now I'm going to spray my face. And ladies, this is major key, like I said, to break down your powdery look. If you still look powdery from baking earlier, you're going to take this e.l.f. spray or whatever spray. You get you some Fix Plus from MAC, or you can get you some Wet n Wild spray. They got good setting sprays over there. Some dewy ones. NYX got good ones as well. If you want higher end, Urban Decay has really good setting sprays. But today, I'm going to be using my Smashbox setting spray. I'm going to do the e.l.f. one first. Lightly spray my face. And then spray my face with this. And honorable mention, I do like the Evian facial mist spray to break down powder as well. Yes, it says Slay. You can get this from the dollar store, by the way, if you want to, you know, have a little fan. All right, and that's it. Let me go put some lips on. All right, y'all, so that's the end of the tutorial. How are we liking it? I hope this tutorial was in enough detail. I tried to explain it as good as I could. It's a long one, so if you're still sitting here watching me, you a real one, okay? Let me know in the comments. If you're still here, say you a real one in the comments, and I'll know that you watched to the end. This is only the first video to all my other ones for the basics. I think either the next one is either going to be on liner and lashes, or it's going to be on eyebrows. Either one. Let me know in the comments which one you want to see, and I will film that next. Let me know if this was in enough detail so I'll know what to fix for the next tutorial. But anyways, y'all, have a great day. Be blessed. Keep God first. Drink your water. Put your mask on and pull it over your nose. I'm sick of being in the house. Even though I'm a homebody, I don't like to be told what to do. I don't like to be told to stay in the house. Please just conform and let's be done. We trying to be like Australia. Australia ain't wearing no mask. Did you hear about that? They've been good since last July, and it's rolling up on a year since we've been dealing with this. So y'all, please be safe out here, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye.